Guys, we got to talk T-Wolves because we were real big on the whole Ant saying what he said out loud, the team turning things around. But now they've lost 2 straight. There was a 26-point blowout at home to the Knicks and, of course, Cat. And then there's a 10-point loss to the Warriors just on Saturday. And afterwards, and this is after the Knicks, he said, we don't have beep on offense. We don't have an identity. Then when they lose to the Warriors, he comes out and gives a whole speech about how the refs were this, that, and the other, and they're always against them. It was emotional. Lou, I don't know where the line is between great leadership, rally the troops, and perhaps maybe there's a little too much emotion going on.
He's finding it. He's finding it. He's figuring it out. You know, he's one of these young guys that he has a high expectation level. And, you know, if you're Ant Edwards, you're looking around the league at all of your peers, you know, all of the guys that are around your age or in your class, and it feels like they're getting better. And, you know, their teams are getting better and these guys are trending up where you're kind of sputtering. And the problem with that is he saw it. He saw the success. You know, they were a solid basketball team last year. He came into this season thinking that they were going to build on that. And you're kind of taking a step backwards, and his frustration is starting to show. I'm okay. He's towing the line a little bit. I would leave the referees out of it, out and just play basketball and continue to light the fire up under your basketball team, light the fire up under your teammates. You know, he's not happy with things are going, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him challenging the organization. I'm okay with him challenging coaching because these aren't selfish things that he's asking for. He wants to win. He wants to be in a position to have all of the pieces that he needs to be successful. And he's demanding those things, and he's demanding them out loud. And so at this point, he kind of has to play that game because the organization has told you, you know, obviously he wasn't in on a decision making on this summer. He liked where this team was. They made decisions without him. And so with that, I'm going to be voiceful. I'm going to be boisterous in my opinion on how things are going. And he's going to continue to challenge these guys until they fix it, him included, you know? So I don't mind the tone. I don't mind this constantly going up. We have to report on it. He's one of the superstars in the league. So we have to make comments on it, but I don't mind it. As long as his message continues to be about winning, continues to be about team and wanting to get better, I don't mind it one bit.
Yeah, it's interesting because Anthony Edwards wears his heart on his sleeve, right? And he says things like this. If this was Luka, I feel like people would have a problem with it. They're saying how he complains about the refs too much. Or if this was John,
well, he does.
Draymond, you know what I mean? So he does have a way where it doesn't come off offensive. And clearly he has this relationship with his teammates where they don't take it personal. And this is his way of leading. And so you got to respect it from that point. Now, I agree with Lou. Going at the refs like this is never a good thing. These refs are human beings. Next time they see you, they're not going to forget these comments either. So it's only going to hurt you in the long run. Now, when it comes to his team and his team competing night in, night out, he has every right to kind of push these buttons, call them out with a balance of understanding that, okay, listen, I'm towing the line here a little bit. I'm talking to grown-ass men. They, to a certain point, they're either going to buy into it and play hard, or they're going to be like, all right, dude, enough. At the end of the day, you're one of the younger guys on the team. So he does have to be careful here and tread lightly. But with his personality, everything I hear in Minnesota, it's not like guys are taking this the wrong way. It's not like guys are getting offended at his tone or you know, him going to the media with this. I think they agree. I think they agree that this team has something here and they're not showing it on a nightly basis. And Anthony Edwards is calling them out. So I respect it, and I respect his, you know, the time he's put in with these guys for them not to take it to a personal level. But I would just be careful if I was him, kind of towing the line with the referees. It's never a good thing.
But he did, in fairness, he did say the 2 guys, not the woman. So the woman did a good job as far as the refs are concerned. I appreciate that.
Well played, well played.
well played. Julius Randle, by the way, I was a little afraid that this was going to eventually happen to Julius Randle, having just left New York and have been the scapegoat basically for a while. Now he's in Minnesota, and here we go. 15 points in the first quarter when they played the Knicks on Saturday, and then he only had 9 the rest of that game. And then there's a clip of him basically not getting back on defense, and that, of course, is what goes viral. And so it begins, guys. Chandler, is he the problem, a problem? Like, how do you classify Julius Randle?
It's the plays like this that are glaring, right? It's never been about him not being a good scorer or anybody questioning his talent, right? It's always been about his efficiency. It's about him fitting in his perimeter shooting. and just simple effort. And on defense, you see he's got a lot of letdowns on defense. He's not running back in transition. He's not boxing out. Julius Randle is too good to not be doing these little things. When you watch the Lakers, you see LeBron James doing it. There's no excuse Julius Randle is not doing it, especially on a new team where he's trying to fit in, where he understands he's going to get compared offensively to Karl Anthony Towns. And he was such a great shooter and so efficient for them last year. He's got that pressure to kind of fill that void, keep up with his numbers, keep up with his production. And he's not. And I think that's why we said this trade was always tricky for us. Me and Lou were never really on board with this. When you see Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert offensively, I don't know how that works with the spacing and none of them being great outside shooters. You take off arguably the best outside shooting big and put Julius Randle in here. It just kind of clogs up everything and it makes their offense stagnant. It creates the paint being packed, which is forcing now Anthony Edwards to shoot more threes than he ever has. So offensively, Chris Finch has his hands full, which is kind of trying to find adjustments to get this thing going. Do I think he's the problem? No. Do I think he's the solution though either? No, I don't think this is the right fit for him. I never did from the moment it happened. They ran into a buzzsaw the other day when Karl Anthony Towns came back down too for the first time. And Randall actually started off really hot that game, but it's all determined on whether he's making shots. And he can't be a guy where his defense and his effort are dependent on if his shots are going in because he's too much of an inconsistent scorer for that to happen. He's got to be able to give effort on that end, regardless of how it's going on the offensive end. And sometimes he kind of gets caught up in that and you see viral clips like this. So is he the problem? I don't want to call him the problem, but I just don't know if this ever was the right fit, especially offensively with just the style of play and what they want to do there. I don't know if it works.
That makes it the problem. I mean,
It's not good.
We're not, like we don't have to blame Julius Randle and say he's playing bad basketball.
Yeah,
but
that's
sometimes
what I don't want to do. I don't want to be like, oh, they're worse because of him. That's not really fair either.
Right.
Like,
it's just, listen, when this trade was first made, we thought that it was a bad fit, that it wasn't going to work out just because of the style of play. That doesn't mean Julius Randle is a bad basketball player. And it's just not, this group right now, it's going to take more time than usual for them to find their footing and get themselves an opportunity to win at the clip that Edwards had got accustomed to winning, and also give him credit. He battled back from injuries as well. He's probably still trying to find some consistency. So two things can be true at the same time, but I honestly don't think this is just a great group of guys on the same page at the same time in Minnesota.